Thanks guys for coming. Just an update with Tarryn Thomas. Tarryn will be unavailable to play for the North Melbourne Football Club, in the VFL or AFL capacity. This decision has been made on the back of the education program we've put in place over the last 8 weeks. We've seen some improvement in some of the understanding and accountability around that program we've put in place. Unfortunately, still not quite at the level that we need it to be, and that's been our own observations, but also observations from the key providers of some of those services that we've put in place. So Tarryn's still got some work to be done in that area before he's available to play for the football club. Second to that, we are aware, obviously, with the new allegations that are against Tarryn. So this is a serious concern to us again. It's with AFL integrity. We're aware of some of those allegations, but with respect to and consideration to the victim of these allegations, we're not at liberty to say too much around any of those details out of respect for her. So we'll continue to cooperate, obviously with AFL integrity around this, and we'll continue to work with Tarryn around that program. While he's at this point, he will stay away from the club until we can get more information, speak to the right people about the next level of this education program.
The stuff that the AFL integrity unit is looking at now, does that have to do with why Tarryn's been struck again?
No, look, I want to make this really clear. The first part about it, I mentioned that he hadn't really got to the level that we needed to get him to with the education program. There'd been some improvement, but still not enough from our observations, and also some of the providers of those services that he'd been dealing with. So, in our view, he was not available for selection. To this point, he's been in conditioning phase, hasn't been available for any official selection. Secondly to that, now the next part about that is the new allegations, and so while we get to the bottom of those allegations and work out the next part of his program, we'll stay away from the club until we're clear on what that looks like.
Todd, have you got clarity on the timing of these new allegations? Like, are these messages that were from when the initial ones came out, or have they come out more recently?
Yeah,
well, said them more recently?
Yeah, no, understand your interest in knowing about the time, but it's in the best interest of the complainant that no further details are provided by us at this point.
When was the club made aware of the allegations?
I became aware of them late Tuesday.
Todd, is Tarryn's future in the club, is that clouded at the moment in your eyes?
Yeah, look, I think I'm on the record last time about discussing this, that we need to see significant improvement in this behaviour. In this industry, it's a really tough industry. You behave yourself in or you behave yourself out. Now, we need to see some significant traction in this area before Tarryn's available to play for us.
What's the next step, Todd, in terms of the investigation?
So, well, that's with AFL integrity, and they'll handle that. So I'm not sure timelines around that, but we'll continue to work with AFL integrity.
How's Tarryn's welfare at the moment, putting aside what's happening with the investigation? What is he going okay?
Yeah, look, we spent some time with him yesterday. He's disappointed. He thinks he's made some progress. So when we break the news that we don't think he's ready, he took that quite hard. And he wants to continue, like he's still saying he's happy to cooperate with this next level of his education. And he knows he needs to get better.
How long do you anticipate that he'll be away from the club? Like how long?
Yeah, we haven't put a time frame on it. We just want to make sure that this next level of our program will be really clear, but we haven't put a time frame on it.
Can you outline what this education program entails and what it's going to achieve?
Yeah, well, fundamentally, I mean, and I won't go into too many details, but it's respect and responsibility, particularly to women. There's been a core component of it. There's been some social media part of it. There's been some cultural behaviour improvement stuff as well. So it's been multifaceted. But the main part we want to get right is the respect and responsibility to women.
Tarryn's away from the club right now. What does his day-to-day sort of look like? Is it engaging in more training? Is it speaking to the club, speaking to AFL investigators? What's his...
Yeah, well, that's still all to unfold. Obviously, there's going to be the AFL integrity investigation. We'll continue to get him to train, but he'll be training on his own, like he did for the previous time for about 4 weeks by himself.
Just mindful of the sensitivities tied around the investigation. Are you able to expand in any way on how the complaints came to light? The person approached the club or the AFL, or how that happened?
I think the complainant has spoken to both.
In terms of where the town has more work to do, could you say what areas that they seem to be filling?
Yeah, there needs to just be more understanding of the respect and responsibility piece.
Towards women.
Towards women. Yeah, thank you.
Clark, over your dealings with Tarryn and where it sits at the moment, how have you seen so involved?
Oh, well, my expertise is with the on-field stuff. Toddy's expertise is in the off-field stuff, so that's why he spoke about Tarryn and I'll speak about the footy.
Just from a coaching point of view,
He's not part of that.
Everyone,
Sorry.
this information is for those guests
All
travelling
really
to
focused on
Hobart on flight BA
is on the game against
1316.
Fremantle tomorrow.
Morning police service will commence shortly.
Big challenge
Through
and a
Gate
big
Down
task,
Channel
and
1.
all that
Kindly
other stuff
ask
will
guests
play
will
out.
find
We've got
assistance or extra time to
terrific
board.
people at our footy
Come
club that are
boarding
trying their best
preparation
in difficult
boarding.
circumstances to manage that. And that's why Toddy's in charge of that, and I'm in charge of the on-field stuff, and hopefully we can get a good performance and back up our win last week against West Coast.
Just one from me on that, Clark. I know you're on the footy, just in terms of balancing your fierce loyalty and how you back players. So Todd obviously explaining that perhaps he's on his second or third chance and he's running out of them. Who has the sort of say on that, if you like? Is that Todd's call or the club's call?
Well,
do you get involved?
it's in pretty good hands in terms of Todd at our club, and it's in pretty good hands with AFL integrity. So there's some things you just got to bow to go at higher levels of influence, and this is one of them. And so we can, and even from within our footy club, we're still providing tremendous support to Tarryn, but there's a process we need to go through, both in terms of AFL integrity, but also within our footy club, and we respect that.
Alastair, you mentioned obviously you're dealing with players that are going to be out there. How have you handled this situation with them? Because obviously it's a cloud that's hung over the week or the last month, 2 months.
We've spoken to the players about just doing what you can control, and what they can control is their on-field performance and their own preparations for that. And we've everything else to do with it is over to the club and Todd to manage and with the AFL. And so we try to put ourselves in a little bubble in a sense in terms of all the things. You know, there's a game that's played on the field, and there's a game that seems to be played off the field. And I'm involved with the one on the field, and Toddy's managing the one that's off the field.
Do you get the impression with the players that they are frustrated with Tarryn, they don't want to see it back in, or are they just backing off altogether?
No, they want him to be playing because he's a very, very talented player, and it seems a big part of the future of the football club, but we just need to address those issues, and they respect that. Everyone's got something going on in their lives at some point in time. And when it becomes public, it's very, very difficult to manage. And this is public with Tarryn, but every one of our players, every person in the footy club's got something going on in their lives that becomes a challenge from time to time. We need to respect that and have empathy for it and try to help them as much as we possibly can through that. And our players know that whilst the spotlight's on Tarryn at the present time, it could very easily be one of them pretty soon, indeed right around the competition. So, it's a tough industry. But as I said, we're here to play a game of footy against Fremantle tomorrow, which will be a tough ask. They'll be smart enough for their loss against St Kilda last week, and we need to be prepared for a pretty significant onslaught.
Did you visit Tarryn yesterday? Have you had conversations with him personally?
No.
Lots of players, thousands of people around the country would love an opportunity to be on an AFL list. How many chances does Tarryn get to do the right thing for him and someone else?
Listen, let's just talk about Fremantle, eh? He's answered 10 questions, I've answered 6. We've got a game of footy to play, and 23 players are trying to do that as best they can. And and we can't deal with any of that until we know all the detail of it. And Todd's outlined that pretty clearly to you guys, and so all we can do is what we can control, and let's go and play a game of football against Fremantle this week.
Did you get a bit of a blueprint from what Ross and Security did on Sunday against Fremantle? See how you can break them down?
Yeah, well, they were really impressive, the Saints, and we shouldn't be surprised with that, with the way Ross has coached over a long period of time. You know, he's very, very talented at being able to break down opposition sides, and he's done that for a long period of time. So, you know, whether we can replicate exactly what they do, it takes great discipline and organisation of the system, and to the credit of the Saints boys, they carried that out really well. But, you know, having said that, Fremantle had 65 inside 50 entries last week and just couldn't convert those opportunities when they went inside 50. I dare say if we allow 65 entries, we're going to be a bit of strife tomorrow. So, you know, they were terrific, the Saints, last week in getting the job done, but, you know, we're a different sort of side, and I'm sure Fremantle will be wanting to do a lot better than they did last week.
You see Harry Sheehan playing that similar role again, and were you even surprised at how well he contributed?
No, it didn't surprise us. You know, all the young lads that have come in, there's 3 or 4 that haven't played yet that we're hoping will get an opportunity pretty soon. But we've been really pleased with the way that they've applied themselves, and now Harry's obviously been demonstrating those sort of tendencies with his footy over the last 2 or 3 years. You know, and he's got the capability of playing 3 parts of the ground, which is really good for us. And right at the present time, him playing in the back end is what suits us, and he'll start there tomorrow. But we know full well if we can't kick a goal, we'll probably shift him forward too. So that's the beauty of the flexibility he's got on his side. Such a young player, it's a really valuable commodity to have.
Do you prepare for a really sort of stinging Nat fight? You obviously had that sort of debut up forward. It was a difficult game. You came with some criticism. Just defended it as well. Do you prepare for wanting to maybe improve?
Oh, well, I don't know him really well, Fifey. I know him a little bit from international rules. I know he's a very, very proud man, and there's not too many who get to the level that he has that aren't very, very proud of their own performance and the way they go about it. And I'd expect that that he's just such a fierce competitor that he'll want to make amends for a performance that was well below his best last week. But yeah, that's for the Fremantle side to work out. We're more worried about how we're going to stop him if he does get going. So yeah, we're going to have our work cut out, but we're looking forward to the challenge.
Todd back in, obviously up against, they've got that duo now of Darcy and Jackson. I mean, how's this week been for him? Because he was left out and he's back in with Tristan's injury. So he's obviously a seasoned professional. How's he been this week?
Yeah, he's got his goal. He's got his goal last week. He understands that every club, right at this point in time of the year especially, is trying to make a decision whether they'll play 2 rucks or 1, and you know, how much run they've got in their side as opposed to having 2 big fellas, and whether they think they're going to get the advantage. And last week we chose to just go with the 1, and that meant that Goldie missed out. But we're so fortunate with Big X going out injured that we've got Goldie in the wings there that's just waiting there to come in. And it wasn't like he's in terrible form. We just decided to only go with 1 rather than 2. So you know, he's actually been Big X's mentor for the last 4 or 5 years. So he knows at some point in time he's going to hand over that mantle to his understudy. But he's playing a really, really valuable role for our footy club, whether it's in the role that he's got on field right at the moment, obviously, but also the off-field role he's playing in helping some of these other emerging rucks come through the club. Good on you guys, thank you.